October in New Hampshire, and we're having a thunderstorm. This is just too cool because I always love thunderstorms. It's just kind of weird we're having it in the end of October, which is really odd for since it was like 30 something degrees outside the past couple days, and now we're having a thunderstorm. That was loud. Totally loving this. Yeah, so this sets the mood for spooky October, Halloween, an awesome thunderstorm. Oh, yay. Loving this. Here comes another boom. So today I think I'm gonna do a little just kind of talking. A little bit of talking, a little bit of reminiscing, a little bit of history of our house. So yeah, we have it. Wow, it's raining really, really, really hard right now. So whatever leaves are on the trees still are not going to be on for very long. It's pouring outside right now. We're in the middle of a big thunderstorm, which is really cool. Yay! Yay for thunderstorms. They're so atmospheric. Lightning. But yeah, so we live in a very old house here in New Hampshire, is where we are. Um, our house was built in 1768, which is really old. So actually, it's our house is it was built before the United States became the United States. We were still a British colony when this house was built. It still stands today, and now we live in it. So we've been here for about 16 years or 17 years. And yeah, it was empty for a few years. And because the previous owner ended up going to assisted living, so the house was kind of sitting empty for a little bit. And so we moved in. And and since it's such an old house, creepy things happen. Um, we've had things move and disappear, and we've heard sounds and footsteps, and things have happened. And nothing major. It wasn't like Amityville horror level stuff. It's just really subtle stuff. Most of it could probably be explained somehow, and some of it can't. So yeah, it's a pretty cool house. We've never felt like there was anything bad or scary here. I mean, we've had some stuff that was kind of freaky, but um, as far as feeling like we were unsafe or anything like that, or there was a bad evil presence or anything like that, nothing. Um, but we did find some really cool stuff when we were the first year or two we were living here. We have an L off the main house, which is kind of, I don't know if it was like servants' quarters or it was the original house and they built the bigger house onto it, but it's a little L. It's unheated, and we use it for just storage right now, kind of thing. And it has an attic above it, and we were doing some cleaning and stuff up there, and we just happened to move the floorboard because we were going to put some insulation in there, and we found an old Victorian little girl's Victorian shoe underneath the floorboard, which was really odd. And we also found a whole bunch of corn cobs and things, and we figured, oh, like squirrels or raccoons or something were like living up here and like bring him up here and that kind of thing. And so we found the Victorian shoe, and we found some other old shoe, I think a man's shoe as well, and just one of each under the floorboards. And we thought that was kind of odd. And maybe they stored their clothes up there and it fell and they just lost it. So we took them down and we were showing everybody, and we had them in our little, in our little cabinet, curio cabinet, and we were showing people like, look how cool this is and that kind of thing. And then one day I was doing some online research, and I happened upon a website about old folk customs and folk magic kind of stuff, colonial related stuff. And it just happened to have an article relating to shoes during Victorian times and earlier. The inhabitants of houses would put a worn shoe, just one, underneath the floorboard on the north side of the chimney to keep evil spirits out of the house. And as soon as I read that, I ran to my husband and said, "We're putting the shoes back." So yeah, we took the shoes, put them back where we found them, which happened to be under the floorboards in the L attic on the north side of the chimney. So it was like completely consistent with the article that I found. So we put them back, and we even took one of each of our own shoes and added them. So we're good. We're protected now. So but yeah, so we've had some really strange things happening, like the shoes. I mean, that wasn't like a supernatural thing. That was kind of a it was kind of interesting to have as a it was a kind of a cool little custom thing, but still, it was kind of you know a cool thing that happened. And we've had other things happen, like my stepson, when he was younger, he kept saying he thought like he'd hear someone knock on his bedroom door, and then he'd hear like footsteps running away and like a child laughing, which sounds pretty creepy. And then we found out later, I guess there was a little girl who was like 4 years old, um, you know, like back in the 17 or 1800s, who was killed um, from who was killed from having boiling cider accidentally spilled on her. And back then they didn't have the medical care that we have now. So when you have third-degree burns over a good part of your body, the chances are you're not going to make it, especially if you're a 4-year-old girl. So she passed away, which is really sad. But this house used to be a cider mill. So I've heard rumor. I haven't found the actual um, her name or the actual story. I know I saw it at one time, and I just can't find it again right now. But um, I had heard through somebody that it was possibly that the little girl had lived here in this house, and because this used to be a cider mill at one time, and there's a foundation across the street from our house where the cider mill used to be. So it kind of fit together that he was hearing a little girl laughing and knocking on the door, and then suddenly we find out that a little girl about a little girl possibly died in this house or lived in this house and died um, shortly thereafter. So yeah, so that's kind of a creepy story, and we've had other little things here and there. We've kind of seen things and heard things and sometimes the animals will be looking at something that isn't there, and sometimes it's a mouse in the wall, and sometimes it's not. So yeah, I mean, it probably can be explained in some way, shape, or form, or maybe not. But I happen to believe in ghosts and spirits, so I think some of this stuff is not explained, and it's kind of cool. And like I said, there's no it what we noticed is if we're doing any kind of major updates to the house, like major repairs or updates or anything that's really like stirs things up in the house physically, it seems to stir up things in the spiritual realm, I guess you could say. So it almost seems like we have like things happen when we're doing some kind of major work. And I liken it to kind of like, it's kind of funny to say this, but it kind of reminds me of like Beetlejuice when when they were in the house and they had the family move in, and they were like trying to chase the family out because they were just destroying their house, which is that the house that they loved and they lived in, and when they were still alive. And it's almost like this, if there are spirits here, they're kind of like, what are you doing to our house? And we're just here to check it out, make sure you're not like, doing anything weird and freaky. And so it kind of reminds me of that. It's like we're kind of sharing the house, and they're cool that we're here, and we're cool that they're here, and it all works out. So yeah. Um, so yeah, that's my little kind of ghost story history thing of our super old house. And yeah, so that's it, really. And what I'm going to leave links to the I'll leave links to the page that I found with the folklore about the shoes, which because it's a pretty interesting read, especially if you like history and you like kind of the old superstitions and folklore, colonial stuff, um, and Victorian stuff. It's pretty cool. So I'll put a link down below for that so you can read that article. And yeah, so that's our little personal story of our super old house that we love and that could possibly or not be haunted. Either way, we're cool with it. Um, hasn't scared us out anything. None of the walls have bled, and we haven't heard any screams in the night. So I think we're good. So yeah, so that's that. So yeah, thanks for watching. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe and hit the bell icon. And I'd love to hear your comments as always. So if you have any ghost stories that you want to share or strange happenings, I would love to hear about them. I love to hear other people's kind of experiences and ghost stories and that kind of thing. I love that kind of stuff. So yeah, put it in the comments below. I'd love to read it. And yeah, as always, keep on creeping on.